prior motion, Councilmember Hodges.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I don't have a copy of the proposed substitute in front of me, so I don't know if it is a introduction and referral, or if it is simply a request for a public hearing.
Thank you, Councilmember Hodges. Let me clarify. It's a technical motion to refer this resolution to Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Health Committee. That was Councilmember Schiff's motion, correct? As seconded by Councilmember Wood. That's what we're doing.
A further question is that I heard it was a referral for the purposes of a public hearing, and I don't know if you can do that without having an ordinance introduction. And so that's kind of my question, is what is actually the process here?
Great. Thank you for that question, Councilmember Hodges. Now, I'm going to clarify with the maker of the motion, but my understanding of it was to refer the resolution to Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Health. So I agree with you on the point that it would be inappropriate to direct a public hearing if there is no other ordinance. At this time, a possible outcome of the referral to Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Health could be an ordinance introduction at some point in the future, which would then a public hearing. Councilmember Schiff.
That's correct. It's just a referral of the subject matter of the resolution, or the resolution itself. It's not directing the committee to hold a public hearing. That's up to the committee to do at their own pace.
Thank you for that clarification, Councilmember Schiff. On your motion, prior to the motion, Council President Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Councilmember Colvin-Roy pointed out to me that I did not move the resolution. Is that what asked the clerk?
Okay. Okay.
The original resolution.
All right. So does that? So this is not a substitute. Then. This is the, okay. Great. Thank you. So, someone, if you can just give me a moment to adjust speaker management. So the original motion is the Schiff amendment, or the Schiff substitute, to refer the subject matter to Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Health. So a discussion on the original motion, the Schiff motion, Councilmember Wood.
Thanks. I would have been happy voting down the resolution that we had before us that I believe was in motion, so I'm not sure how it, so it was withdrawn.
Councilmember Gordon, to clarify, and I apologize for adding to the confusion here. The item is on our agenda as it was amended as number 2 in resolutions. The item, we are at number 2 in resolutions. The original motion that has been made is Councilmember Schiff's motion to refer this to Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Health. A motion to approve the resolution as brought forward by Council President Johnson was never moved.
Oh, clear? I'm clear.
Again, my apologies for contributing.
It could potentially be moved, but there's no, or it could be substituted for this motion. I'm definitely opposed to the resolution, and I appreciate Councilmember Schiff bringing up Chapter 440. Everybody should have a paper copy of it in front of you now. We did have a little discussion early on about adding this to the agenda, and oh, sorry, they got stuck here. I also emailed it out to everybody as well. But it clearly shows that the rules for our city-owned plazas are indeed in our code of ordinances. We have them. I think they're adequate. I think this gives a lot of discretion. The city engineer can make a determination about what can go on, whether it needs a permit, and if he or she doesn't grant a permit, then it actually comes to the council and make a determination. And we have some things there that we determine in our code right now should have a permit, including concert, exhibition, commercial venture, organized play, or picnic activities, or for any similar purposes. So I think that it's clear. I actually think it's enough. I actually don't think we need our committee to look into this. And I'm a little bit concerned about it going back to the Public Safety Committee, but I think that would be much more appropriate. The whole thing would probably be more appropriate for a ordinance amendment than when we do go through a public hearing process. I also just wanted to remind folks of what we said back in October. 9 of us anyway voted for a rather lengthy resolution about this, and we resolved that in order to create a shared dialogue to which to address the problems and generate solutions for 99% of Americans, the city stands in support of peaceful calls for serious reforms to the income tax, financial, and electoral systems, and of our education efforts in furtherance of those goals. And if we're standing in support and we want to create a shared dialogue, I think we need to do so, especially about what kind of First Amendment rights we're going to get involved in, to figure out how the message can be heard, how it can be discussed. And I really have concerns about a resolution coming forward like this when those people who are most engaged in the peaceful calls for serious reforms aren't consulted and involved in figuring out how we're going to help do that. So I hope that we can figure out a way to do that. And I think what we should be doing is exploring, working with the park board, the county, others. Well, how can we allow this and create a forum for this that will be healthy, that will be safe for everybody in the city of Minneapolis, and embrace it. I actually think that it's great that we have our political leaders from Peru here with us today, but it's also very great that we have our political leaders from the city of Minneapolis here with us today, and that we should look at them and recognize, well, this is part of the solution. I mean, these people who want to change our world, this is what we need to be embracing and working with so we can improve things for everybody. In October, we said we were going to do that, and so I hope hopefully we can do that and we can move forward.
Thank you, Councilmember. Further discussion on the SHIP motion to refer this resolution to Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Health Committee. Councilmember Hodges.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I have another procedural question since things have been a little up in the air this morning. So if this passes, it goes to committee. If it doesn't pass, then somebody could make a motion for that resolution.
Correct.
Which means the order of this is a little tricky for someone who doesn't think that who basically thinks it's a solution in search of a problem. And so I'm not exactly sure how to proceed on this particular motion. I don't, by voting no on the referral to committee, I don't want to give the impression that that I am doing that because I would rather have something move forward today. And so I just wanted to ask the procedural question and make the point that a no vote on this could also be the conversation might not be necessary.
Thank you, Councilmember. Further discussion on the SHIP amendment. Further discussion. It was a product of the chair to make final comments. I'm going to support Councilmember Schiff's motion because I think that's the appropriate place to have this discussion is in committee. Whether or not ordinance changes come forward out of that discussion is yet to be determined. If Councilmember Schiff's motion passes, then we have disposed of this item and there would not be another motion in order at this time. I agree with the arguments that Councilmember Schiff and Councilmember Gordon made at the beginning of this meeting. This is changing policy. This is changing ordinances within the city of Minneapolis, and we have an established, predictable, transparent, understandable way to do that, which most importantly includes opportunities for public involvement and public hearings, and that's how we govern in the city of Minneapolis. I want to thank so many people for coming down here. I want to thank you for your excellent behavior. I hope you enjoy watching government all morning. This is your government, and I'm glad that you are here participating in this. I would urge my colleagues to support Councilmember Schiff's motion, move this work to committee where it belongs, and if possible, have a public hearing on any ordinance changes that would come forward as a result of that. Thank you. Further discussion on Councilmember Schiff's motion to refer the subject, refer this resolution to Public Safety, Civil Rights, and Health. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'm going to ask for a roll call just so we have clear vote at the end of this. Clerk, please call the roll on this item.
Councilmember Hodges.
Aye.
Samuels.
No.
Gordon.
Aye.
Wright. Hofstad.
Aye.
Schiff.
Aye.
Lilligren.
Aye.
Colvin Roy.
No.
Taco.
Aye.
Quincy.
Aye.
Glidden.
Aye.
Goodman.
No.
President Johnson.
No.
There are 9 ayes and 4 nays.
That motion is adopted. This is your first. We have disposed of this item and I return the chair to the council president.